Hi everybody, welcome to Cosmo Live. I'm Charles Manning, Cosmopolitan.com's style editor, filling in for Amy Odell, who is finishing up preparations for her wedding and couldn't be here today. Sad. No, I mean, great. Anyway, joining me as always are the wonderful editors of Cosmopolitan.com, Carly Cardellino, our beauty editor.
Hi guys.
Who today is rocking some really, I mean, girl, your shoe game is really on point today.
Thank you.
There's something special about these shoes, right?
There is. Should I tell you now?
Yes, please tell me now.
Okay, so I got them at, where did I get them? Buffalo Exchange. In Brooklyn for $65, and they totally weren't $65.
No,
Brian Atwood, Be by Brian Atwood.
Which are like amazingly expensive shoes, and
yes.
Those are incredible. I love them.
Thanks.
I love them. Next to Carly is our wonderful sex and relationships editor. I know, sorry, I can't help it. Is our wonderful sex and relationships editor, Anna Breslaw.
Hi.
I like your shoes too, Anna.
Oh, thank you.
Where are yours from?
The internet. Somewhere on the internet.
With pony hair on.
Oh, yeah.
Cosmo Trends.
Pony.
Also joining us, as usual, is our resident shirtless male, hunk, if you will, CJ Richards. I won't, but some will. And next to CJ is Elisa Benson, our wonderful social media editor. Elisa will be reading your tweets throughout the show, so please make sure to tweet in with the hashtag CosmoLive with any questions or story ideas or comments.
Criticisms.
Maybe
hate mail.
As long as they're not
Love
for me.
mail.
Love mail, those. I love those. So just go crazy on that. Also joining us is a very special guest, Taryn Brumfitt. Taryn is the founder of the Body Image Movement, and she is joining us from Australia. Taryn, it's nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Sorry you can't see us.
You had some really amazing before and after images that went viral on Facebook, not once but twice. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I posted some non-traditional before and after photographs, and the before was me when I was bodybuilding, and the after was me with a little more balance. And it was non-traditional because usually we see women in and after photos, and sometimes they've got a newspaper before and they're overweight, and then they lose weight, and then they're miraculously happy. And I just wanted to flip that on its head, and I wanted to share with women my story, and that is, and my message, which is you can love your body before, during, and after. Everyone has a right to a positive body image.
And from that experience, you founded an organization, the Body Image Movement. What do you guys do with the Body Image Movement? What's your goal?
Well, my goal is to harness and facilitate positive body image activism, if you like. I want women to feel as good as I feel about my body, and it wasn't always the case. I loathed my body. I wanted to have surgery. I spent a lot of time shaming my own body, especially after I had children. And once I learned to love my body, I just felt compelled to tell that story to as many women as I can. So I fly around the country, and at the moment I'm in Darwin. There was a crocodile here yesterday. It was a little frightening. It was very Australian. But I fly around the country and I share my message with women, and of course I blog and have the Body Image Movement, which is connecting women and men to all over the globe.
And what was the turning point for you with starting to feel good about your body again? Like, what happened?
So after I had my 3 children, I was going to have surgery, and we went to the surgeon's office. We had that chat. We booked in some surgery to get my boobs fixed and my tummy tucked. And it was about a week later, and I was sitting on the couch and I was watching Michaela play, and I thought to myself, it was an epiphany. I've never had an epiphany before, but it was like a lightning bolt came out of the sky and whacked the ground in front of me. And it was, how am I going to teach Michaela to love her body if I can't do the same? How am I going to teach her to love the parts that she doesn't love about her body? How am I going to be that positive role model for her? And that was the turning point. And then from there it just gathered great momentum. it didn't mean that I immediately loved my body. It didn't sort of go, right, I love my body and I shall go. It was a lot of hard work. But the minute that I knew that it was possible, I wanted to give other women hope and share my experience and hopefully impact and inspire other women to love their bodies too.
Taryn, I have a question for you. So I love what you said at the beginning about these sort of untraditional before and after images. We're so used to seeing a before and after being associated with sort of drastic weight loss, and you're really flipping that on its head. When you posted these images to Facebook, when did you sort of realize that this was going above and beyond your network on Facebook and really going viral?
Look, I knew as soon as I posted it that the amount of likes that occurred within seconds, I thought, oh, I've done something here. And that before and after photograph, I didn't actually share with my husband that I was posting it. So
he saw it on Facebook like all the rest of us.
He had no idea. He was watching 60 Minutes on the couch and I'm tapping away on my computer thinking, this is a great idea. And then I went, oh, whoa, okay. Yeah. I think I knew the reach and the power of that particular photo when the media started calling, and when Good Morning America rings up and a bunch of other networks and just the views, millions and millions of people saw that image and the commentary as well, and the passion that people commented about my photo. There was a lot of people that loved and supported the message, but then of course there was those other people, the minority, but still very vocal, in that I was promoting obesity. And yeah, she's gross, and why would she do that? And she's fat, and all those comments that were made. And for me, it was good, I guess, to see that that's what some people thought, because it just fueled my fire. That the more I saw people say she's promoting obesity, the more I knew that I had a big job ahead of me.
That's amazing, I think, because I think it's really hard to, even for me, just working on Cosmo.com, where we all have comment sections. Sometimes we get negative comments, and they can be really hard. Being able to turn that around, that's a really amazing skill. Is there anything specific that you did to sort of to enable yourself to do that? Is there, or was it just a decision that you made?
Yeah, it's funny, because 2 or 3 years ago I would have been ready to fight those people and get really angry, and I'm not sure if it's maturity, I'm not sure what happens, but as you get older you kind of go, you know what, there's some people in the world that are going to like what you do, there's others that aren't, and I think if you remain authentic and genuine and focused, and if your intentions are good, then it just rolls off you. Yeah, and I guess for me, as I said before, it just fueled my fire, and it made me realise that my message and the body image movement and getting out and talking to as many people as I could was extremely, extremely important.
Well, and
there's an issue on our hands. There's a global epidemic of body shaming and body hating. That's what those comments highlighted for me.
And you've actually had you've gotten a lot of support from celebrities as well, correct?
Yes. Could you imagine me in Australia waking up and my phone's gone bananas overnight and everyone's going, Ashton Kutcher! Ashton Kutcher! What? I had to calm down and say to my husband, Ashton Kutcher may have just blogged about me. It's great. The power of having some of those voices behind the body image movement, Rosie O'Donnell, Zooey Deschanel, Perez Hilton, Ricky Lake, it's very helpful. I'm not a PR marketing powerhouse. It's me with a mission to create global change.
And now,
so I sure appreciate all the help I can get.
And now you launched a Kickstarter campaign recently and have raised over $200,000 to shoot a documentary, correct?
Yes, so I became a little frustrated with short TV interviews and blogging. Sometimes, my blogs got misinterpreted. I thought I need a really strong vehicle to share my story and other women's story too. How am I going to do that? What a great idea. Let's make a documentary. Now, these things cost a lot of money to create, so using Kickstarter as the platform, I set out to raise $200,000, and we reached the target within 12 days. Amazing. Wow. Incredible. The momentum and the passion, and I had hoped before I launched Kickstarter that this might just be the vehicle for change. I hoped, I prayed, I wondered, and I tell you what, after that first 12 days, I knew with absolute certainty that this is going to be a game changer. Embrace the documentary. And I'm delighted now that we've reached the budget. We've still got 20 days of the campaign to go. So the more money that we raise now, the better quality of the documentary. It'll also enable me to come to the US, which is delightful for me because I love it over there, and to Canada and a couple of other places as well. At the moment, we've got enough funds to film within Australia. The extra funds will allow me to travel. As nervous a flyer as I am, I'm such a nervous flyer. Okay, I will take one for the team and get on a plane. And interview people from all over the world. There's so much goodness out there, and I want to extract that. So, getting more pledges and more money in, it will enable me to do just that.
Where can people go to donate more for your campaign?
Beg your pardon?
Where can people go to donate to your Kickstarter?
Yeah, sure. So they can go to the Kickstarter website and just punch in Embrace, EMBRACE, or head to thebodyimagemovement.com.
Okay.
Web or Facebook, of course, as well.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Wonderful. Do you have something to add in?
No. So I was going to bring up the documentary.
Can I just butt in? You guys were talking about shoes. I can't see you this morning just because of where I am. Do you want to see my shoes?
Yes. Absolutely. Ooh.
Those look comfy.
Is that a Haviana?
I'm not sure what you call it.
They're more comfortable than Carly's shoes, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Not as comfortable as mine.
Taryn, we do have one question from you that came in from Twitter that I think is a really great question. Boston Tonic asks, what's your advice for young women with body image issues trying to conquer swimsuit season? And I don't know if I guess it's kind of always swimsuit season for you guys in Australia, but we're just, starting summer over here. So I think that can be kind of anxiety-inducing for some women.
Yeah, sure. So I think for women, and I think for all people, we need to start treating our bodies not like they're ornaments, but they're vehicles. I want to go to the beach when I go to the beach because I want to feel the sun on my skin, I want to swim in the water, and I want to have fun. Now, if I've got a little bit of cellulite rocking around in my thighs, or if I've got a bit of jiggle here, it doesn't matter. I'm there to have fun. This is the thing. We've become so obsessed with how we look. We've forgotten how we feel. And I work with a clinical psychologist, and we look at some of the trends and the spikes in depression and anxiety. Is it any wonder, because we're going through life kind of critiquing ourselves the whole time, feeling quite obsessed about how we look? Put a bathing suit on, put your swimwear on, and go and have fun. And women need to try and flick the switch inside their head to place the importance on the inside, on how they feel, on having fun, enjoying themselves. When I speak with women, I say to them, what are you going to think about, do you think, on your last breath? When you take your last breath in this lifetime, what do you think it's going to be? What thoughts will be on your mind? And I have never had anyone say, my cellulite, or my stretch marks. So you know what I say? I say, right, so now that you are here and you are living, how about we get rid of those thoughts and just start being alive and enjoying life? I hope that helps.
That's amazing.
That's amazing advice.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us, Taryn.
Yes.
It's been great to have you. I hope you can come to America and work on your film here. It would be great to have you come by the show.
Yes.
My pleasure. I'd say it's lovely to see you, but it's lovely to connect with you.
Wonderful. All right, thank you so much.
Bye.
All right, guys. So let's talk.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh,
Bye. Thanks, Taryn.
Let's talk story ideas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What you guys got? Let's see. Anna, you wrote here a Miss USA controversy.
Yeah, so there was a kerfuffle. Is that the word? Kerfluffle?
Yeah.
Kerfuffle, right?
Kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
I like kerfluffle.
There was a kerfluffle over a comment that Miss USA made, that now Miss USA during the pageant made about, I think the question was how to prevent campus sexual assault, and in a roundabout way, she basically said women need to learn how to defend themselves, and that was like, the answer ended there. And then people reacted to that, and then people reacted to the reaction to that, and it just, everything got really garbled. And people missed the point, which is like, self-defense is well and good, but we should also be teaching like college-age men not to rape.
Yeah.
Like that could also be a thing that we're doing. It's not mutually exclusive.
No, absolutely not.
I think absolutely with the education piece, which I think has long been important to a lot of women, that men are part of this conversation about rape prevention. But also when you're specifically talking about college campuses, one of the issues is how often these issues have been mishandled on campuses. So, not even just, of course, having this education piece about what rape is, what no means, when sexual assault can occur for both men and women, but also making sure that college administrators, when students report these crimes, know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
I think this isn't my idea, this is something smart I read somewhere else, but, if somebody steals something from your dorm room, that's a crime. Or if somebody sets a fire in your dorm room, that's a crime, and not necessarily something that should be dealt with by an RA or somebody that doesn't have training in these kinds of issues. So I think that's a really important part of it as well.
Yeah, and I think more of that is happening, but that's only because they got their spots blown up.
Exactly.
It's when someone calls them out on it.
Exactly.
It's like they should just be doing that without getting caught not doing it.
Right, and hopefully, even though there was some controversy following the Miss USA pageant, hopefully she'll be able to, now that she is in the spotlight and there's this attention on the issue, hopefully she'll be able to push for some of these things to happen, for colleges to respond, to make sure that they're acknowledging this in sort of a nuanced and informed way.
Mm-hmm.
CJ, did you?
I had no idea. I should have been watching.
You
Miss
didn't watch
USA.
Miss USA?
What was I doing with my life?
It was actually really. It's been amazing, the discussion that has really compelled everyone to have. And I do think that in general, making noise is the only way you're ever going to get anything done. Unfortunately, it's like these people colleges don't want to take responsibility because it makes them look bad to accept, but they will if you make.
And
them.
she said that. She actually said that preemptively. She was like, well, a lot of colleges won't deal with it. So what you have to do is learn self-defense, rather than sort of being like, and the colleges could maybe reconsider how they're handling,
right.
I
will say I thought she had the toughest question, in the entire panel, because that's a problem that's going on right now that no one really has a solution for.
Right,
so to say, answer this question in 30 seconds, I certainly couldn't do that. So I think she did a good job handling something that's very complicated.
I would just pee myself.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Exactly. But, there was another pageant story that we reported on Cosmopolitan.com today about Miss Thailand basically giving up her crown as a result of being bullied on Facebook. She made some political comments that resulted in people, sort of storming her Facebook, and then, of course, also making comments that she was fat. Of course she isn't, not even the point. But I think it really is interesting with these pageants because a lot of these women aren't necessarily celebrities or public figures, but sort of once you're on TV and once you're competing, I think people feel like
you're fair game to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She should talk to Taryn.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, they should team up.
Yeah. Right.
That's really sad, though.
Yeah.
Elisa, you also have down here as an exciting news item, the return of Pretty Little Liars tonight.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up, Charles.
I know how much you love Pretty
Oh,
Little
you
Liars.
care. I'm pretty sure she's I thought she was the only one in the world who cares.
What?
You.
Did Labriana say she cared?
She did I think you did, right?
Oh.
Our wonderful Twitter guest who is...
Right. I guess we should go ahead and introduce her.
Oh, right. We haven't even introduced her yet.
We're just talking.
This is a good segue into the introduction.
It's wonderful. So joining us remotely is Bree Bland. Hi, Bree. How are you? Labriana.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. So you had a couple of really awesome story ideas.
Oh, yeah, I did. I can pitch you both of them?
Yeah, go. Let's start with
one.
Okay. Well, I guess my first one would be kind of tied into the body acceptance, body image issue. I had weight loss surgery in September of 2012, and since then I've lost about 118 pounds. So I was thinking that doing kind of like a post-op weight loss surgery for someone in their 20s and just how to navigate life after that, because a lot changes. Dating changes, sex changes, your friendships change, just your interactions with people change. So just kind of like a 20-something's perspective on having weight loss surgery and what that means and how that kind of incorporates into your new life, because your life does change. It will be more of a human piece, I guess, but I think that I know that a lot of people can relate to it, because I know a lot of 20-somethings who've had weight loss surgery or who are in the process of getting it. Mm-hmm. It's a really difficult process and intense, but it's also probably the most rewarding thing I've done in my life.
Yeah.
And did you find that there were positive and negative effects after your weight loss surgery, or has it just been overwhelmingly positive for you?
It's been overwhelmingly positive for sure, but there definitely are negatives in just the way that people who you've known for a long time treat you, because people think that you've changed, I guess, intrinsically who you are, or that the characteristics of who you are changed, which is not true, because I'm still very much the same. I'm into the same stuff that I was before. I'm very obnoxious.
Oh, me too.
I do things that I've always done and say the same things I've always done. But I guess I have more confidence now, and that can kind of be perceived as your character is changing. So that's probably the biggest negative. And other than that, I mean, honestly, it's been overwhelmingly positive. Every day is like a new adventure. But there's some confusing times with like the dating thing that gets a little tricky, just because you're not used to that level of attention. So sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do with all this attention. I can't act out.
Oh my God, I know, it's exhausting. CJ, isn't it exhausting?
I'm sleepy right now.
You also have a great story pitch here. I don't quite get it. Swiper, no swiping, a guide to Tinder. I don't use Tinder. I'm aware of the Tinder. I don't Tinder. Do you Tinder?
No.
You don't Tinder. I am curious about the Tinder though. So what's this?
Well, I discovered Tinder a while ago. It's like the thing, I guess, that everyone's doing. It's the dating app. I put swipe for no swiping because me and my friends, whenever we're talking about Tinder, because we have a group message devoted entirely to Tinder where we just screenshot the most ridiculous things and we send them to each other throughout the day. So, we'll be like, oh no, swipe left, or definitely swipe right. And I think that Tinder it's tricky. Like, I think you need to have a rule book. There needs to be a guide on how to Tinder correctly, because I would buy it and read it, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I go by the most ridiculous things. If they're a Jay-Z fan, if that's our common interest, definitely swiping right. If they have a beard, swipe right. That's not okay.
Which right is what?
Right is good, right?
Right is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be saying yes just on the fact that they're a Jay-Z fan or they have
I actually I tried it out for work a while ago, like when it was sort of newer, and I didn't realize that it was swiping left and right. So I just sort of arbitrarily, I was scanning through it. So then I got all these. I woke up the next day and had actual legitimately 100 messages from men that I would not have wanted to. And now we're having a wedding in the summer. So I'm kidding, by the way. I'm joking.
It's a group wedding.
That's the way to start a relationship.
I could be though.
I don't know one person who has a relationship out of Tinder.
My friend.
It's always someone's friend's friend who has one.
My friend
it's
met her
never
boyfriend
like
on
me.
Tinder.
Yeah. Like our former coworker Michelle is like, my cousin's best friend's sister is dating this really great guy that she met on Tinder. It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
I'll take that as gospel.
He also had his stomach explode after he drank Pop Rocks. And,
Right.
And
Right.
because that's real.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, Bree. It was great to have you. Those are awesome ideas. And I think that's...
We're wrapping.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Do we have anything?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being
Thanks
here.
so much, Bree. All right, well, thank you to everyone for joining us on this edition of Cosmo Live. Please make sure to tune in next week for another awesome episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.